In trying to teach you about the stock market, I really like to tell stories instead of going over technical terms and charts and all kinds of things that are difficult to understand. And today I want to tell you a story about Domino's Pizza. This pizza, if you haven't had it recently, you really should give it a try. It's good. Mm, mm, so good. But what's even better is the company and the stock. I bought Domino's about 8 years ago, and it's been through a lot of ups and downs, but mostly up. It's been up over 900% since I bought it, and just today it went up over 25%. Really spectacular. But what I want to do is use this Domino story to help teach you a number of things about the stock market, about being long term, about knowing how to hold stocks, how to stay in when it goes up and down, and much more. So let's take a look. While I never predicted in my wildest dreams that Domino's would be up over 900% or that it would be popping 25% today, it was not a guess that Domino's was going to turn around or do good things in the future. So 10 years ago, Domino's went through a transformation. Their pizza before was horrible. Nobody liked it. You may not love it today, but it was universally seen as bad before. And they brought in a new CEO. They collected feedback. They got a new chef to come up with better recipes, and they changed their whole product around. At the same time, they also embraced technology. They had a really good online ordering experience at a time 10 years ago when that was not a given across the industry. And they embraced technology, social media, all of that. They were on the forefront of that. And so I knew that there were some real reasons why Domino's was going to be turning around, and I could predict to some degree that that should be reflected in the stock price. Again, I had no idea it was going to do as well as it did, but it was not a guess. And so knowledge, knowing what you're doing and trying to understand a company is really the first and most important thing when investing in the stock market. It's always nice to look back at a chart that's going straight up and to the right and say, wow, yes, I would have bought that 10 years ago and everything would have been beautiful ever since and I'm making tons of money every day. But it doesn't work like that. I'm telling you this 8 years into this process of owning Domino's that I've made some money on it, but 8 years is still a long time. I mean, if you're looking for a get-rich-quick scheme, the stock market is not that. It is a get-rich-slow scheme. And even with these kind of returns that you're seeing with Domino's, it still requires me to stay in this for years. And even after 6 years, like 2 years ago, the stock has been trading kind of sideways, up and down, not really going in any particular direction. And that even requires patience to say, do I stick in this? Is it going to suddenly go down? What's going to happen? And so it's really important to be patient, to stick with these things for the long run. At least 5 years, maybe more. And even if you look at things like Apple and Amazon that have grown from 2000 and now 10x, 20, 30, 50x in some cases, you only get those kind of returns if you stay in it for 10, 20 years. And that is not easy to do. So throughout these 8 years of owning Domino's, it has not always been clear to me what I should do. So I'll give you an example. I bought it at 36 and it went up to 100. And that would have at $50, I had 50 shares, which meant I made about $3,000, which if you triple your money, you make thousands of dollars in a stock. That is amazing. And you should really think about taking some profits. And so I didn't know what to do. There wasn't any sign that the company was slowing down or having a lot of problems, but if a stock is doing that well, it crosses your mind, should I sell it? And since I didn't know what to do, I did both. I held 50 shares, and I sold some. Also had 50 shares. So I sold half of what I had and kept half of what I had because I didn't know what to do. And so I diversified across buying and selling at a given point in time. Okay, now here we are, it's at 370. Of course, I wish I had my other 50 shares and that might have been worth another $10,000. But I'm also, if the stock had gone the other way, I would have been happy that I sold some of it. You don't always know, and for that reason, diversification is really, really important. So I hope some of these lessons from my experience with dominoes have been helpful to you. The first thing, again, is knowledge. You really need to understand what it is you're buying, the company that you're investing in, and how they plan to grow. Number two is patience. Even if you pick an awesome stock, you still have to have patience over the long run to make really great returns. And number three is diversification. In this case, I mean diversification across buy and hold decisions when you don't know what to do. And so I hope this has been helpful to you. I'm not perfect. I haven't made all the perfect decisions, and I could have been wrong here in the way I've handled dominoes, but I've made some money, and I hope you'll learn from these things too. Thank you, and see you next time.